Prada. I mean, who doesn't know Prada, right?
Yeah.
Runways, luxury, that distinct look, you know.
Right.
But get this. Miuccia Prada, the woman behind it all. She actually thought, initially at least, that fashion was like the worst possible job.
Oh, yeah, especially for a woman. Imagine that.
It's almost hard to believe, considering what she's achieved.
It's quite the contrast, isn't it? I mean, she was born Maria Bianchi, and she wasn't dreaming of, like, catwalks and fashion shows.
No, not at all. She was deep into political science, like seriously deep. She earned a doctorate.
Not only that, she was actively involved in protests and even wrote for left-leaning publications.
Right.
You know, this wasn't just a passing interest for her. It was a major part of her life.
Really makes you think about how that background and all those experiences shaped her unique approach to fashion.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today in our deep dive, taking inspiration from our YouTube channel, Icons of Italy. We're not just looking at the fashion icon, but Miuccia Prada as a person.
Exactly. Her humanity, her global impact, those moments that really made a splash.
Right, the things that made people stop and say, whoa, what just happened?
It's going to be quite a journey, especially for all our listeners out there who love Italy. We've got a lot of great content over on our YouTube channel, so many different perspectives on Miuccia Prada. And our goal today is to, bring you the most interesting parts of her story.
We've done the research, watched the videos, and we're excited to share what we've learned. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding not just her impact on fashion, but her broader cultural significance.
So let's start at the beginning. Like so many great Italian stories, it all begins in Milan.
Yep, born May 10th, 1949, Maria Bianchi, as we said. Later, through adoption by her aunt, she became Miuccia Prada.
And here's where things get interesting. Her grandfather, Mario Prada, had founded the Prada firm back in 1913.
Can you imagine back then? It was a much smaller operation, of course, selling luxury leather goods and handbags.
And in a pretty prestigious location too, right?
Oh yeah, right in the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II in Milan.
Wow. But it wasn't just any leather goods, was it?
No, definitely not. They quickly built a reputation for top-notch quality. They even became the official supplier to the Royal House of Savoy.
Talk about a huge endorsement. That says a lot about the brand, even back then. But as we mentioned earlier, Miuccia, well, she wasn't exactly eager to jump into the family business.
Not at first, no. For her, fashion just wasn't a serious enough pursuit. I mean, she was a serious intellectual, deeply involved in politics. Remember, she got that doctorate in political science.
Right, from the University of Milan. She wasn't just playing around.
And all that activism, the protests, writing for those publications, it really shows how engaged she was with the world around her.
It's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
To think how those early experiences, so different from the world of high fashion, might have influenced her later work.
So how does she go from, political activism to running a global fashion empire?
Well, after her grandfather passed away, her mother took over the family business in 1958. Then, in 1971, Miuccia decided to join the company.
Seems like a big change of heart. It might have been a sense of duty, maybe a curiosity, or perhaps she started to see the potential of fashion in a different light. We can't know for sure. But this is also when she met Patrizio Bertelli, a leather goods entrepreneur himself. He would become her husband, her partner in life, and in Prada.
That's a pretty significant turning point.
Oh, yeah. They both inherited Prada in 1978. Back then, Prada was a much smaller operation than what it is today, just a single boutique.
And Miuccia wasn't entirely comfortable with it, was she?
No, she's actually spoken about feeling a kind of embarrassment, even shame working in fashion. It clashed with her intellectual side, her political views.
So what changed? How did she become the fashion powerhouse we know today?
It was a gradual shift. She started to see the potential of fashion as a form of expression, a way to communicate ideas and challenge conventions.
So clothes became more than just clothes. They became a language, a way to make a statement.
Exactly, and this is where her genius really shines through. Take, for example, the introduction of the nylon bags in 1985.
Those are iconic.
Right, but at the time, it was a truly radical move. Luxury was all about leather, expensive materials. And then comes Prada with these simple, almost utilitarian bags made of nylon.
It was like she was redefining luxury.
Exactly. It was understated elegance, practicality meeting high fashion.
I bet that caused quite a stir.
Oh, you bet. Some people just didn't get it. But Miuccia stuck to her vision, and, well, those bags became hugely successful.
They became a symbol of Prada's innovative spirit.
And it wasn't just the bags. They started expanding, opening new stores, launching a shoe line, and then came what some call the ugly chic era.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting. For those who aren't familiar, can you explain what ugly chic is all about?
It's kind of hard to define, right? But it's all about challenging conventional ideas of beauty. Miuccia embraced minimalism, clean lines, and often used unusual materials or combinations. It was a bit jarring at first.
But that's kind of the point, isn't it? It's about pushing boundaries, making people rethink what's considered beautiful.
Absolutely. And she wasn't just doing it for shock value. It was a way to express a deeper message, a critique of society's obsession with perfection.
Right. It's like she was saying beauty is more than just what's on the surface.
And that first women's ready-to-wear collection in Milan in 1988 really solidified this approach. It was so different from what other designers were doing at the time. It made a statement. And don't forget, her early political activism probably played a part in this too.
How so?
Well, she was always questioning the status quo, challenging power structures. And in a way, ugly chic was doing the same thing in the world of fashion.
That's a great point. It's like she was using fashion to disrupt, to challenge conventional thinking.
Exactly. And it resonated with people. Suddenly, everyone was talking about Prada.
So she was a revolutionary in her own way.
Absolutely. And the revolution continued. In 1993, she launched Miu Miu, named after her nickname.
Miu Miu always felt a bit younger, a bit more playful than the main Prada line.
That's a good way to put it. It was more accessible, more youthful, but never meant to be seen as a lesser brand. And that same year, 1993, she launched the Prada men's line.
Wow, they really expanded that year. Shoes, accessories, menswear.
And they started the Fondazione Prada, her art foundation.
So it wasn't just about fashion anymore. It was about art, culture, philanthropy.
Right. It shows how her interests expanded. And Miu Miu, as we said, it went through its own evolution, finding its own unique identity.
They really did. And some of their designs became instantly recognizable, right? Those collars, the pleated skirts, the baby pinks.
And don't forget the rivets. They even had a menswear line for a while, but ultimately decided to focus on women's wear. Oh, and we have to mention the matelasse.
Ah, yes, the matelasse. For our listeners who haven't encountered that term, what is it exactly?
It's a special leatherworking technique. It creates this kind of quilted, padded effect, like little pillows on the leather. It's so distinctive, so Miu Miu. And around 2011, their sunglasses just blew up, like everyone wanted them.
I remember that. It's amazing how one item can have such a huge impact.
It really is. It put Miu Miu on the map for a whole new audience. And the brand, well, it's really come into its own in recent years. It's a powerhouse now, just like Prada.
Miuccia Prada has definitely left her mark on the world. She's received so many awards, recognitions. I mean, she's a true icon.
No doubt about it. She's considered one of the most influential designers of the last century, which is incredible considering she never actually studied fashion design.
That's mind-blowing. So it was all instinct, talent, and maybe a bit of that rebellious spirit from her political days.
Maybe so. And she's won the CFDA International Designer Award twice, in 1994 and 2004.
Pretty impressive.
And in 2005, Time magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world. And then there was that incredible exhibition at the Met in New York, Schiaparelli and Prada, Impossible Conversations. That was huge.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Being compared to Schiaparelli, another Italian fashion legend. And she also won the British Fashion Council's Designer of the Year Award in 2013.
She's just racking up the accolades. And let's not forget her leadership within the company.
Right. In 2014, she became co-CEO of the Prada Group, sharing the role with her husband.
And then in 2020, they made another big move. They brought in Raf Simons as co-creative director.
That was a big surprise. Two major design forces coming together. It's like a creative dream team.
Totally. But for Miuccia, it's always been about more than just clothes. She's spoken about the responsibility of people in fashion to advocate for human rights, freedom of expression.
Right, and she sees Prada as embodying that freedom. And of course, there's the Fondazione Prada, which supports art and culture.
That's such an important part of the Prada universe, this idea of uncompromised creativity. And that partnership with her husband, Patrizio Bertelli, well, it's a testament to what can be achieved when two strong, visionary people work together.
It's a powerful partnership, that's for sure.
They complement each other perfectly. And it's amazing how Miuccia has managed to balance her avant-garde ideas with wearability. The clothes are still beautiful, still desirable.
And she's always pushing the boundaries, blurring the lines between tradition and innovation.
It's like she never stops exploring, never stops challenging herself. And the inspiration from art, culture, you can see it everywhere in her designs.
And all this time, she stayed true to herself, her vision. She's not afraid to be different.
That's what makes her so inspiring. And her impact is undeniable. I mean, Prada is one of the world's leading luxury brands. And Miuccia herself is considered one of the most powerful women in the world, according to Forbes.
It's an incredible achievement. To take a small family business and turn it into a global empire, it's amazing.
And she did it all on her own terms, never compromising her values. She once said, "What's important is to know yourself. If it's fake, it doesn't work. It has to be true to yourself first, and then it might be successful." And that pretty much sums up her philosophy, don't you think?
Absolutely. And even now, she's still going strong. At 74, she continues to be involved in both Prada and the Fondazione Prada.
Amazing, isn't it? She says her creativity hasn't diminished, just evolved. And it's fascinating to know that she sees fashion as only 1/3 of her life. The other two parts are the foundation and, most importantly, her family.
So there you have it. The story of Miuccia Prada, from political activist to fashion revolutionary. From one little boutique in Milan to a global empire. It's a story that proves that you can achieve anything if you stay true to yourself and dare to be different.
Absolutely. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this deep dive, head over to our YouTube channel, Icons of Italy, for more incredible stories. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, we'd love to hear your thoughts on Miuccia Prada's journey. And for our international audience who are passionate about Italy, well, Miuccia's story really shows the power of Italian creativity and the ability to make a lasting impact on the world.
It's inspiring, to say the least. It shows that true influence comes from within, from being authentic and pushing boundaries.
Absolutely. Miuccia Prada's story is a reminder that we can all make a difference, no matter what field we're in. Now, stay tuned, because we have one final thought before we wrap up.
We want to leave you with something to think about, something to maybe inspire you.
That's right. So don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back after a short break.
And we'll be diving into a really interesting question.
We'll be exploring what it means to be a modern revolutionary, just like Miuccia Prada. So stick around.
We'll be back in a moment.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to our deep dive on Miuccia Prada. Now, as we wrap up, we want to leave you with a question, something to ponder.
Yeah, something that's been on our minds as we were researching and, going through all this material.
It's this. What does it mean to be a modern revolutionary?
We often think of revolutionaries as, political figures, people who lead uprisings, who change governments.
Right, but Miuccia Prada's story shows that revolution can happen in other ways, in other fields.
Exactly. She revolutionized fashion, but not through protests or violence, but through creativity, innovation, and a willingness to challenge conventions.
And she did it while staying true to herself, her values.
That's the key, isn't it? Being a modern revolutionary means finding your own way to make a positive impact, to challenge the status quo, to make the world a better, more interesting, more beautiful place.
And it doesn't have to be on a grand scale. It can be in your own life, your own work, your own community.
Right. It's about thinking differently, doing things differently, and inspiring others to do the same.
And that's something we can all aspire to, isn't it?
Absolutely. So as you go about your day, think about what your own revolution might look like.
What change do you want to see in the world? And how can you, like Miuccia Prada, make it happen?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Miuccia Prada.
We hope you found it as inspiring as we did. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Icons of Italy, for more fascinating deep dives.
And until next time, ciao.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos.